We're back.
Episode 15.
15.
As you're listening today, it is 3 big things today.
Yeah.
World Mental Health Day, World Pickleball Day, and also my dad's birthday.
Yeah.
So happy birthday to Papa Willie. I doubt he's listening on his birthday. He's not like, let me chime into Rob and Destiny's podcast. But happy birthday anyway.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah. And we have a special guest today.
Yep. Desiree, or Des, my better half.
Yes.
Yep.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So with it being World Mental Health Day and a mental health, it's funny actually, I was pulling it up earlier because I thought it was Mental Health Month, but there's actually Mental Health Awareness Month that I think is May.
Yeah.
But then I think it's Mental Illness Awareness Week that starts this week actually. But then there is a component to October being specific to depression and anxiety and those types of mental illness disorders.
Yeah.
I don't like to say disorder. I don't know, but I think that is what it is. Yeah. So they, kind of started a second month, I guess, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Because I think there should be more
100%.
awareness behind mental illness. So, yeah, but we'll get into all of that and kind of talk today just about, since it's World Pickleball Day, just the community and how that can drive, I think can combat, I guess is a better word, for like feeling lonely or feeling depressed and anxious, like all those types of things, and how maybe pickleball has done that for us. I had some people write in and tell us some of their personal stories. So I can read those and then just go from there as we always do.
Yeah. I think we're going to bring up maybe some books too that we've read that kind of helped us out, or we thought that was,
Yeah.
And by your face, I can tell you didn't.
I forgot about that. Whoopsie daisy. But I'm sure, I know one for sure, and I've talked about it several times, and I do actually think it's a good one for today's episode.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
And I love to re-talk about it because I really still think everybody should read it, so I'll bring that one up.
And we have the whole month.
As we're
right?
chit-chatting, I can come up with some others. Yeah. And we do have the whole month. So.
We do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
So highs and lows then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I could start. Do you want? I'll start this
okay,
time because I feel like I always make you start.
Well, it's you because you do such an awesome job with the intro.
Oh,
it's only fair. So.
Yeah. So you go.
Okay.
Okay.
So the high would be we came in second place.
Oh yes.
At the draft league.
Oh yeah. Congratulations.
Now, it was so close. I mean,
also
it was by 1 point that we lost first place.
Okay, that's crazy.
It is.
I do have to say, so I want to pause there because I remembered Brett's male teammate name, Steve. And I'm so sorry, Steve, that I did not remember. I was so mad as soon as you guys left my house. I was like, how did I forget? I feel so bad. So sorry, Steve.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay. So you guys won within 1 point.
Yeah, by 1 point. So we did the what was it? It was the Team Dream Breaker, and we went to 3 games. And on the third game, it was 20-20 for just a little bit. And then Brett hit a drop shot into the kitchen, and I overextended, and it launched out of the back row. I was like, oh my gosh. But man, what a battle.
Yeah.
And what was really, this was a major highlight for me. I played like a boss.
Oh, I love that.
Oh my God. I destroyed my body doing it, but it was amazing. I had 8 in a row serves that I got points off of.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
the first
cool.
men's match.
That's funny.
And yeah.
So were you guys the first servers? So you almost had like a golden pickle?
Almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
It was awesome. And I was crushing it.
That's good.
But all in all, it was really good games.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah. So that was really rewarding.
Yeah.
And
second place. And you guys won money, right?
Yeah. The team got $75 per person.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I don't know what first place got. Maybe $100.
Probably 100. I think you get your money back or something.
Okay. Yeah.
For some, but it's a little bit more than that. So maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A portion of it.
Yeah. That's cool.
A good portion.
Yeah.
So that was a big highlight. It was a lot of fun. Obviously, I was upset that we didn't win.
Right.
Because I think I know the other female, I think her name is Jocelyn.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I also was going to tell you that.
Right.
But then I couldn't remember it. But Yoli reminded me last night about it.
Yeah. So Jocelyn, she had a tough time because she had a death in her family a few days before. And I could just tell it was, it was still raw, still sore. And she was affected by it. When she just beat herself up on bad shots and stuff.
Right.
Which I understand. I get it. Right. That she shouldn't be beating herself up, but I understand where she's coming from.
Yeah.
And then I think if the females just played a little bit better, we would have won.
Right.
But, it is what it is. Yeah. And second place is the first losers, but it feels good to stand up there.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah. If you're not first, you're last. Not in this situation, guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congrats.
But yeah. So, and then a low, I thought I had one, but man, maybe I lost it. Oh no. The last week and a half, I don't know. I've been struggling with mild depression. I don't know what it's stemming from, but like I wake up and I just don't want to go to work. Not that work's bad. And I know I've said before that I don't enjoy my job, but it's picking up a little bit. But I don't know. I just go in these phases to where I'm just like down all the time and self-loathing and that kind of thing. So,
sorry.
Yeah. I'll come out of it, but these lows kind of suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And in the meantime, shove it down.
Yeah. Just be a man, shove it down, and
yeah, that's exactly what we're promoting here, guys. Into that dark void.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
Yeah. Thanks, Tim, for bringing that to the podcast. Now every man's like, I've also got a dark void. That's where I put all my stuff.
Yep. Justified, right, Tim?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh.
So yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. But do you have things that you do that help kind of dig you out of that? I mean, like you've obviously recognized that you're in that place. Mm-hmm. So do you have things where you're like, okay, I'm going to, maybe just take the day and be at home and sit on the couch, or I'm going to I'm going to actually leave the house and I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to, I don't know. Do you have like methods that kind of get you out of a funk like that?
Really, it's just time that it takes. I don't have anything that shortens that time, but I do listen to some more mellow and sad rock songs that I really enjoy, like Nutshell by Alice in Chains, the live version, acoustic. It just really hits home. I mean, he talks about depression in that song, and people would think, well, why would you listen to depressing songs when you're depressed yourself? Doesn't that just amplify it? For me, it doesn't. It actually soothes me.
Yeah.
And it just helps me, I guess, be in a better mental state.
I get that.
And maybe it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to me.
Yeah. And I think we've talked about this on the podcast before. And my ex-husband, I think, was pretty similar in that regard. And I didn't understand it until, I think he explained it. And then you've talked about it. Somebody else that we had on the podcast had talked about that too. And I was like, and I know I've thought about it since. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like if I'm listening to love songs, I'm like feeling like nobody wants to love me. I'm like, oh, okay.
I think it's that recognition of relatability that you connect with.
Yeah.
And so I think that just helps soothe it a bit, right? You're not thinking I'm alone in this, and this helps you connect with that other person in a sense.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I'm thinking.
And then pickleball.
Yeah.
Because I get to shut down my brain from that kind of stuff and focus on that. And I'm around people that are excited to be there and are excited to see me and play with me and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's, that helps also.
And you're exercising.
And I'm exercising. And so then the exercise. Endorphins and dopamine and all that. Yeah.
Science.
Big words.
Yeah, exactly. Which one of those words?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right. Maybe you're not shoving it down as much as you think you are because you're feeling the feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm recognizing them. Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing. People don't feel their feelings. They pretend they're not there or they shove them down.
Yeah.
But feeling your feelings.
Well, don't tell anyone that.
Well, I will not. I actually, so this is interesting that you said that. So the last two, I go to talk therapy every 2 weeks. I go in office. I don't do telehealth or anything. And I go in office every 2 weeks. I go every other Friday. I don't know why I do it on Fridays. I'm like, you could ruin my entire weekend or make it like, you kind of clear your head and you have a good weekend. But
yeah,
honestly, the 2 sessions ago, it was talked about, he brought up to me that I don't feel my feelings. And I have always been very emotional. So I thought I've always like felt my feelings, and I don't. I am a fixer. So I start to feel shitty, and I just did that to you. Well, what are you doing to fix it?
Yeah.
And I didn't even catch myself doing it in that moment until right now when I'm talking about it. I'm like, well, what do you do? What steps do you take? And it's like, well, maybe you don't need to take any steps. Maybe you do just need to melt into your couch and feel your feelings, because I don't do that either. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go play pickleball. I'm going to go see my friends. I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to do my returns. I'm going to get my to-do list done so that I can like feel better. And guess what? None of those things are going to make me feel better. Because I'm just avoiding. And I never thought I was that person. And it's funny because he asked me, I'm sitting there and I'm asking him, I'm like, okay, well, how do I do that? And he's like, again, you're trying to fix it. And I was like, I'm asking you how to feel my feelings. And he's like, just sit in it. And I was like, how? So it's interesting because I'm still having a hard time like with that, because I have always just been like this emotional person. And then honestly, it was like a year before my divorce, and it could be tied to hormone stuff. I went into early menopause, and so it could be tied to hormone stuff. I honestly don't know. But I am not as emotional as I used to be, like all growing up into my like 20s and 30s. Like I just was like, I mean, anything could happen and I would be crying. But something happened and I haven't been like that. And I think honestly, this is way deeper for a highs and lows conversation than we probably need to get into, but I'm going to. My ex-husband was not a feel your feelings. And honestly, my mom wasn't either. And so I would like, growing up, if I was like starting to feel sad or whatever, my mom either, depending on the mood she was in, wanted to fix it or would tell me to get out of her face. Like, don't cry in front of me, blah, blah, blah. Like it wasn't like an emotional thing. And then my ex-husband was very similar. Like I couldn't cry, I couldn't talk about my feelings because I was too sensitive, I was too emotional. So it was always a negative thing. And it was years into our marriage that I was like, yeah, you're emotional too. You just have different emotions. And so like, stop telling me that my emotions are wrong. But then I still didn't feel them. So it just became like habitually, I almost taught myself to not feel my feelings instead. So I like did, and through the outside sources that didn't want me to feel my feelings. And I thought, okay, maybe you're onto something. Maybe I am too emotional. And it's like, well, there's really no such thing. Like feel your emotions. But yeah, so I'm still actually working through that as we talk, and I'm still doing it. I'm like, how do we fix it? It's hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and nobody wants to sit in their feelings. I don't want to sit here and think about what a fucking loser I am.
Oh my God, whatever.
But do you know what I mean? Like,
I get
I'm
it.
so sad. I'm twice divorced. Nobody loves me. Like, we're not going to go into it. But I mean, everybody has negative thoughts and feelings. And it's like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like, come out of pickleball. I know we've talked about that a ton. But then I've been feeling very like down lately too. So this probably wasn't the best day to record an episode. I might cry on the episode today, guys. But yeah, I have been feeling that way, and mine is like more like feelings of like loneliness, and then I get in my head and then like start feeling depressed and like what's wrong with me and all of this feelings, right? Yeah. And then I'm like, oh no, forget about it. Everybody loves me. I'm gonna go to Kohl's shopping. I don't know, but anyways, we can. Yeah, so it's funny that you said that. So key thing out of today's episode is feel your feelings. Yeah.
Good luck on that.
Good luck. I'll report back next week if I sat after this and thought about it and felt my feelings, or if I was like, nope. But yeah. All right, Des, tell us your highs and lows.
My highs and lows. So my low would be I had a delay on my flight home from South Carolina, which would make me miss my connection in Dallas.
Oh, no.
So I decided to change my flight to a direct flight, but that meant I wouldn't come home until 7, arriving in Salt Lake at 10.
Oh, okay.
So I had like 8 hours to kill.
Oh.
So I went shopping.
Okay.
So that's my low.
What'd you get? Shopping's fun. What do you mean? What's up?
Oh, it was fun. I went into the Van store and I got 4 pairs of shoes, 6 pairs of socks, all for under $100.
Okay. That's wild. Congratulations on your shopping win. Yes, that's a high. Agreed.
Yeah, so I made a good thing out of a bad situation.
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually, that is a really good high because I think it's so easy, especially traveling. I think traveling, depending on how much you do it or how scary it can be for some people if you're traveling alone, like you were coming back alone. Mm-hmm. And so like that's already a little intimidating. It's also nice because then you just get to kind of do whatever the hell you want, right? But traveling is already like can be so stressful. And then you add on like a delay or a missed connection. And then people can just be like so stressed and let it ruin their whole day. And, so good for you. Yeah.
I actually do better traveling alone because I don't have to worry about anybody else.
Okay.
So I went and visited my cousin and she's like, well, what are you doing after this? Are you just going back to the airport or are you staying in a hotel? And I'm like, I don't know. I want to figure it out when I get there.
Yeah.
And she's like, I could not travel with you. I need all the details in advance.
See, I guess it would depend on like where I'm going and what I'm doing that I would need like all the details or who I'm with. Like if you're with other people, I feel like there's more of a need to make a plan so that everybody's kind of on the same page. But yeah, that is probably, I did a solo vacation in March and it was so nice because I didn't have to do any of that or I didn't have to like coordinate like, what time do you want to get ready? What time do you want to go to dinner? And it was like, whatever the fuck I want to do. It was so nice. Yeah. 10 out of 10 recommend solo vacations, to be honest. Yes, it's very nice. Probably not ideal when you're in a relationship, maybe. You're like, bye, I'm going on a cruise.
I'm going to the Philippines for a month.
Yeah. That's all the fuck you are. That's funny. Yeah. I don't know. I recommend it, but yeah. And so that was your high and low in the same thing. I love that. Cool. Actually, that is a really good way to spin it. It's like reframing your brain.
Yeah. Plus $100 and that amount of at the van store for one. Like that's crazy.
They were BOGO.
Oh.
You know what that means?
The socks, BOGO? Or are you talking about the acronym that I don't know?
You don't know what that means?
BOGO?
You're not a shopper?
No, I don't.
Buy one, get one.
Oh.
Ugh.
I didn't even know what FOMO was. I mean, come on.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's funny.
I'm way behind the times.
Yeah, I said FOMO on the podcast one time, and like a week later, Rob's like, wait, what does that even mean? And I was like, wait, what? Why didn't you ask it in the middle of it?
Yeah.
I call you out on all your shit.
Yeah. You just got to act like you actually know what people are talking about. Like, yeah.
And now yeah, exactly. My dad was talking to me about car stuff once, and I was like, oh, and he's like, do you know what I'm talking about? I was like, does it look like I do? And he's like, yeah, actually. I was like, then yes. Yes, I do. Or him and my sister, I remember we were talking about fishing once. Like he was talking about all like the lures. Is that what they're called?
Lures,
or like bait. And I'm just sitting there and I'm recording them because I think it's so funny that, and I'm thinking that she's faking being interested. No, guys, she was actually interested in power bait. I was like, what the hell is going on right now? It was funny. But I mean, it's great. Like it's good for her to be interested in what he's talking about. I'd be like, I don't want to talk about this actually. I have nothing to contribute. All right. Well, I actually did that very opposite of what you did, and I took my high into a low. My high was that I got a massage today, and it was great. And my low was that immediately after I fell down my stairs. And I was like, cool. I was like, oh, so all my muscles were like loose, and now I'm going to be like super sore, but that wasn't. Yeah, I was just trying to make a funny little joke, but it really was like falling down the stairs really sucked.
Yeah, that
I tripped over. Yeah, I tripped over Stevie, and then he like comes running down, trying to sniff me, and then I'm like feeling bad, thinking like I hurt him, and he's like, "Oh, you're hurting because of me." He said that to me, guys. No, I just imagine what he's saying. He's probably like, "I'm hungry. Are you gonna get my food?"
What are you doing laying down?
Yeah, exactly. Get up, bitch. Yeah.
Time for a nap.
Yeah. Actually, my low was work because it was, so I've talked about working for the government. And at the beginning of the year, the president had issued like an executive order. He issued a ton of executive orders, but this was like aside from that. It was from OPN that kind of told government employees they could respond to this email that was called the fork in the road.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And what a wild subject of an email to send out from OPM, which is Office of Personnel Management. Sorry, I will use acronyms. But it's kind of like the head agency over a lot of government agencies. And they sent out this email to all government employees that could respond and say, we're letting you do a deferred resignation. So you can resign from the federal workforce because Trump wanted to decrease the government workforce, which I'm not saying is the wrong thing. And they, in an effort to avoid a reduction where you have no say, so you kind of get like a letter that says, thank you for your time, you goodbye. You can, as an employee, say, I would like to resign instead. Mm-hmm. And what they did is from that date, and I think it was February, they said, okay, you can resign as of this date, but you will stay on the rolls and get paid until the 30th of September. So my agency had like 24,000-ish people, we'll say 20,000 plus people, that between that and early retirement and taking like an incentive to leave, they were leaving. And so effective 9/30. So that was this week, and that was crazy to have to kind of not manage all those people going out, but just like reports and making sure like people actually did leave, and just all the little administrative HR things and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then the very next day, the government shut down. So, and honestly, and then I had to work. So it was just silly and stupid, and I would want to be home. I mean, the government shut down. And for those of you guys that might not know, government employees, I think it was like 2019, maybe it was written into law that if there is ever a government shutdown, you do get back pay. But in most cases, if you're asked to work, and there's a lot of variables here, so I'm sure people are going to be like yelling at their phone if they know the ins and outs of this. But if you don't, the gist is if you're asked to work, you're going to get paid. It might, depending on what you're working, it might be then you might get regular paychecks, but in most cases you're not going to get paid until the government turns back on. Yep. I guess is how we could word that. Yep. Or in some cases you are sent home, you're furloughed, and then you wouldn't get paid until you come back to work and the government's turned back on at the same time. So for me, I work for an agency that was like, actually, we're going to have all of you guys work for 5 days into the shutdown. I was like, mother effer, I get no breaks here. I just like, the government shuts down. I'm like, woohoo, I'm going to go home. And they're like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to work for 5 days. So I worked Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I have to go on Monday, Tuesday. And if the government's still shut down, then I would get sent home. Mm-hmm. I imagine. And there was like talk on the news about it being shut down for, somebody said maybe until even the 13th, which is Columbus Day, which is a federal government holiday. So we would possibly come back on the 14th, which really doesn't give me a lot of time off because I actually already had those days taken as leave because I'm going down to Fall Brawl in St. George to play in the tournament. And that's actually some other stuff that happened this week. So I'm going down to playing with Bonnie in 4.0. I think we're doing. We signed up for it back in February. So, and everybody at this tournament plays down. And so we're doing 4.0. We'll see how we do. And then I was playing 4.5 mixed with a gentleman who, him and his wife were in a really bad car accident last weekend.
Oh, no.
And they were hit by a drunk driver.
Oh, shit.
And their truck rolled 3 times, and they had to use, like, the jaws of life to get her out. She had to have emergency surgery. She's out of ICU, thank God. But, understandably, he's not going to play in the tournament. And so now I don't have currently a mixed partner to play with. Fine. That's fine with me. And also I looked at the weather today and it's supposed to rain all 3 freaking days anyways. So I'm like, this is crazy, just plans can change so suddenly. And I'm just trying to like reframe because initially I was like, oh, that's fine. I've actually never gone to St. George outside of a pickleball tournament. So I've never even like spent a day in St. George. So I was like, oh, there's all these beautiful hikes. I was looking at hikes last night. And so I was like, maybe that's what I'll do Saturday.
Hikes.
Yeah, I know I've talked about it.
Like outside.
It's true. I don't like outside.
You don't like nature.
He's not wrong, guys. But I look at these people's pictures and I'm like, that's so pretty. I want a picture there. for the Instagram. Now I can just use AI. What do I need to actually be out there for? No, so I've done the hikes through like arches and stuff, and I liked those.
Yeah.
I don't like the mountain hikes here because
with all the bugs,
the snakes, the mountain lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things, I don't like those. I don't know that there's less of those happening down in southern Utah, but I imagine that there is because there's not a lot of like brush and trees and stuff for them to be hiding in.
Yeah.
So that Stevie,
he's trying to give me a toy to play with.
Yeah,
him.
stop it. So you guys, my dog has pretended to be sick all effing day, and Des and Rob showed up, and now he's just like, I want to play with everybody. He hasn't even eaten his food from this morning. Anyways, so yes, so I looked up a bunch of hikes, and then I woke up this morning and it says like 55% chance of rain. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go down there, plan this drive, 4.5, 5 hours down to St. George or however long it takes. Then I'm going to be on a rain delay for the days that we're playing. I don't know. And
it's outside, right?
Yeah. And I want to be excited. And there's so many people going down. It's so fun. And usually like this would be my 4th or 5th year going. It's so fun. And I'm just like having a hard time being excited about it.
Yeah. Well, don't they have an indoor facility, don't they? But it might not be as big enough that they need.
Yeah.
Because their outdoor courts are.
They've got 20 of them out there, I think. I think there might be 22. They've built on more. So there might be somewhere between 20 and 24 or something.
Okay.
And I mean, they have the pickler, and it's a small pickler down there. So I bet it's got like 8 courts maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've actually never been to that pickler, so that's me just guessing.
Yeah,
it's an old, I think it's an old Bed Bath & Beyond. So I wouldn't think that it has more than 8.
Probably not.
Yeah. So yeah, so is she, how that goes. And I also don't like to drive in the rain because I hydroplaned and totaled a car once.
Oh.
Oopsie daisy. And so I'm like, I don't want to drive all the way. And I was going to be riding down with somebody, and then I rented a Tesla while I was down there for the weekend because I've been wanting to buy one.
Same.
But I've never driven one. So I'm like, why? Maybe I should drive one for a whole weekend. And I was like, that's actually a really good plan. But now the person that I was going to go with is not going. So now I'm like, okay, well, and that's probably fine because if I'm getting shut down, I'm not going to have a paycheck. So I probably should not rent things like a Tesla or, even if it was a buy one, get one, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Those are all the thoughts that have been happening in my brain today.
Are you able to pull out of that part of the tournament?
I could. Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to get his money back. So if I can find someone, but I would want. It's hard, right? Because it's 4-5 mixed, and we were on the wait list, but we got in on the children's division, meaning 19 plus, which means we're going to get our asses handed to us because we're old. And so 4-5, 19 plus means I need I need a pro.
Yeah.
If there's any pros out there that want to play with me tomorrow, since this will be releasing Friday, then that would be great. So yeah.
Hello, Ghosts and Goblins. This is the Sheedy Dinker from Casual Dink. Our new collection just dropped, Pickle of Torment. So go out and grab yours now, 25% off all year long. So grab your paddles and hit the court. And remember, stay creepy, my friends.
What's she? Yeah, I actually I know a few people down there, and I could reach out. I've just been trying to figure out if I did ask somebody here, so he's checking with his wife and seeing if they can work it out and come down, and if that happens, that happens. But I just said hey, be mindful, you guys could drive down and then we could get rained out. I don't press a lot. If you get a card with your wife, don't use it here.
Yeah.
Use it for a different tournament. If you get a pass, let's not use it on this one. Let's figure out a different tournament to play in or something. I don't want them to go down there and then it be a bust and then have a bad experience, because it is so fun to play in St. George and the weather's nice.
I've never played down there yet.
It's so fun.
Is it?
Yeah. And I've actually never been rained out for fall brawl. I think April we've gone down, or actually I didn't even go down that year, but they did all get rained out and actually snowed down there one year. I remember seeing some people post that went down for, because there's PPA goes in April or something, I think March or April, and then there's another one that's called like the shootout, and I did do that. I think that was March, and then I think PPA goes down in April, and then St. George puts on this fall brawl one. It's just so fun. And it's fun to see people even from up here, but I don't know, you make a trip out of it, you get an Airbnb together, and yeah, it's fun.
Maybe 2026 will be my year of tournaments.
Yeah, I like it.
I have to think on that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They're fun. Yeah. I don't know. I like it. It does suck to like go all the way down there and then not. And then a lot of them are 2 and out.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah. So then you go all the way down there. So if you're making it something more, right? You're going down with friends. You're having a weekend of it. You barbecue. Like if you get an Airbnb, you have a pool at your place, a hot tub, like you're able to like hang out and make a weekend of it.
That makes sense.
And usually it is, excuse me, usually Fall Brawl at least is over where like Columbus Day is that Monday, where a lot of my friends they don't work for the government, and so they don't get that Monday off. So we usually come home Sunday, but that still gives me an extra day to recoup, which I always realize I need, especially now that I don't work from home. I have to, do all the stuff and things when you get home from vacation.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. I don't know. You make a thing of it, and it becomes fun, but. Yeah, so a couple of highs and lows for me. I was going to say we did on Thursday the Bring Your Own Team one that I've talked about a couple of times. That has been so fun to just get our asses kicked.
And this is the higher level one, right?
Yeah, and we actually went. So they were doing the bracket, and they had some of the teams that were on the lower end just play each other. So we had like an extra night. And so we played a team. And we had to go, both of us went to singles Dream Breaker for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Of the whole season. And that was fun. And then we lost. And so that part wasn't fun. But yeah, it was so funny. It was wild how we kind of were up and down. If us women would have won the women's, if we would have played a little better, like you mentioned your team, then we could have had it.
Yeah.
So it was really depressing. But it was fine. I had a fun team, fun people. I had Adam Rasmussen, Katie, and Carson. So
nice.
It was fun people, great players. And from the get-go, it was like, we're just here to have fun and get better and play against these strong people. And so I'm kind of glad that we kept with that mindset the whole time, because it was hard to go and get our asses handed to us each week.
How long did it last?
I think it was 8 weeks. Well, let's see. So we played, I think it was 8 weeks. Yeah. So it's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
Every week. And then it being in 2 draft leagues a week, my body is just like, stop. Because you're playing like competitively, and then you're up late because those leagues both don't start till 8 p.m.
Yeah.
A Tuesday
and
Thursday.
And they say 8 to 10, but you're not getting out there until 11:30.
At least. I mean, I wasn't getting home till midnight sometimes, especially if you stay and watch, because like Tim was in that league, and so I'd stay and watch because they were usually battling it out. And so I'd watch those. Some of them I'm just like, I can't stay here and watch. I gotta go home. Like it's 11:30, right? And then this is gonna really floor you guys, but I like to talk. So then I would be, I know everybody's like, what? I know. And so then I'm like done, and then I'm like chit chatting with everybody, right? And so then I'm just like, oh, how'd your team do? And you're just like talking, and then you're making your way to your car, and then all of a sudden you're talking out your car, and you're talking in the parking lot. And it's like, okay, I have to go. It's usually not me that's saying that. It's the person I'm talking their ear off to. So yeah. But that was another high-low.
Well, that goes into our conversation and about this month and stuff about mental health, and how the pickleball community is our gateway out to be able to either mask at times or help us dig ourselves out of that depression or loneliness hole that we might feel throughout the week.
Right.
Right. So maybe that's why you do stay later and talk.
Yeah. Or
is it to help to supplement, or you just like to talk?
Or is it that I'm avoiding having to come home and feel my feelings and feel lonely at home?
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe let's talk about the books then that you wanted. So you guys, this is the thing. Rob this week was like, let's talk about book. Like, what are your thoughts on that? And I was like, oh, I love that. Such a good idea. And then I didn't think about it again. See, Daisy. Okay. So I know, are you a big reader too, Des? No?
Oh, I have the fantasy of it.
Oh, yeah.
I buy the book.
Yeah.
I plan to read the books.
Yes.
And then...
But you listen to audiobooks.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't usually finish any of the books.
They bore you?
Well,
Or
no.
like you kind of lose interest?
I'll be listening and it's like, yes. I like, you're reading my mind. And then it's like, when do you get to the part where you get the info to fix it and help yourself? That it takes too long to get there.
Yeah.
And I just want to skip to that. And then I never finish.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say like that's probably the personal development books are hard for me in that regard because I feel the same way. Like I am like, okay, I relate. And then, I kind of like lose interest or I forget. But there's some things I talk to my therapist about this because I'm like, there's so much information in there. And if I usually don't do the audiobooks for self-help books because I want to highlight and take notes. So I actually buy the actual book. And then I listen to like nonfiction or whatever, fiction. And, so my nonfiction, I usually get the actual book. And I was talking to my therapist and he's like, yeah, so what if you just reset your brain to focus on taking one thing from each book? Like if you just had like one little piece, like this is all you took from the book and that may be the only thing you remember from the book. But that's okay because at least you got something. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, because it is. They give you all these tips and tools and tricks and things and then they tell a bunch of stories, which is great because it helps you relate. But then I'm like, well, whoa. Yeah, there's a lot happening right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rob, what are your books?
So the first one I want to talk about, and I'm not going to talk a lot about them because I suck at talking, but I'll describe. So the first one's 3-Day Effect, and it's about how nature can calm the brain. Okay. And it's by Florence Williams. And so what she does, and this was an audiobook that I got on Audible. Yeah, it was a
Audible. Yeah,
Audible.
Yeah, just Audible.
Yeah, whatever. So there's 6 chapters, and she follows these 6 different self-help groups that go out and utilize nature, and people that suffered from trauma and go do a 3-day hike, or it's a camping trip, and it's just to get them out in nature, have them in a small little community of self-trauma people, so like veterans that suffer from PTSD or women that have been like sex trafficked and stuff like that, and help them, I wouldn't necessarily say help them get through the stuff that they're going through, but utilize that time to show them that if you just take a little bit of time, touch dirt, touch grass, it can help you put yourself in a better mental state if you do it for a prolonged period of time, right? And so what they do is they do these cognitive tests in the beginning of the 3-day and then at the end. And there's massive growth that people can see
just
of their focus. Yep. So it's really good. And they go into people's individual stories within each group. And it's really sad of, the women that went through that kind of stuff and the guys that went through battle and things like that and seen their friends die. And yeah, so I thought it was really good. And I do agree with the effect that nature can have on a person.
Yeah.
Right? Because as we were talking with, who was it? Who were we talking to? And I said about how I go hunting and I like hunting, but it's more so being in nature.
Yeah, I think, was it Clint and Tom?
It might have been.
That seems like it was.
But the question was asked to me if I ever put my hand in the creek or creek.
Yeah.
I say creek.
that was in your therapy appointment.
Oh, that was my therapy appointment? Oh, shit.
Our therapy.
Yeah, our therapy appointment.
Okay.
Oh, dang. So, yeah. And
Destiny doesn't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
so maybe it wasn't.
I do remember you talking about like hiking and stuff. Where I know we talked about fishing with Clint and Tom.
That's right.
So then maybe that's why I'm getting it mixed up. Yeah.
And I, all this stuff kind of molds together in my brain's mush anyways. So
it's hard. You have all these conversations and talking about similar topics. So when you said the like the nature stuff, it reminded me of like grounding and so I just like pulled something up, and it's funny because So it's called grounding, which is also called earthing. It's a technique that involves doing activities that ground or electrically reconnect you to the earth. These activities may include being in direct contact with the soil or using a grounding mat, which I just purchased.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I don't like nature, remember? Yeah. But also, like, I don't want to walk barefoot through my grass outside. I think there's bugs out there. So it says, or a device that creates a pathway between the body and the ground. This therapeutic practice uses earthing science and grounding physics to explain how electrical charges from the earth could have positive effects on your body. This type of grounding therapy should not be confused with a grounding technique that is often used for anxiety management. So there's separate ones I didn't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I guess when someone says that the electrical charges from the earth helps your body reconnect, or in the grounding situation, my mind automatically goes to those people that are like, oh, do you feel the ley line waves? You know, and they're standing
with their crystals.
So,
and stuff.
yeah, when
yeah,
their crystals,
you think it's kooky.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily know if that's true or not, but there is something scientific and psychological that does happen to a person when they're out in nature. And if that is the magnetic fields of the universe and the earth connecting with the body, because I mean we are 60% water, you know, so we are electrically charged. So maybe there is something to it, but it does sound hokey to a degree.
Yeah. And I'm just reading off of healthline.com, and it does say, like, why would some people use grounding? So, like, it should help with chronic fatigue, chronic pain, anxiety, depression, sleep disorders, which kind of brings me to, like, the being out in the sun for, like, your first, I want to say, like, 10 or 15 minutes, like, having your eyes have sunlight and actually be outside is supposed to help your circadian rhythm, like, kind of get that back on track, and like it promotes better sleep and all of that. So I mean, there's definitely something to being in nature and being outside. There was like some meme that came on my phone earlier, and it said, you know, I hate myself, I hate my life, blah 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 blah, and then it's like after 5 minutes in the sun, or 5 minutes outside in the sun, oh, I believe in love again. And it's like, it was something like that. It was funny, but because I really do think there is something to it, like you're saying. I mean, you read the science back when they were doing, like, so are they doing, what did you say they do? Like a neuro test?
Cognitive test.
Yeah.
To where they focus, or they ask questions for you to focus, like remembrance, right? They'll give you a set of numbers and you have to remember and repeat them in order, or words, or you have to describe something in detail.
Oh, okay.
And then they take the test in the beginning of the 3-day and then at the end. And they see a massive increase in cognitive behavior or sharpness.
Yeah. Science, man.
All right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many things I can't understand.
Like yourself, you don't necessarily like to go out hiking, but you do a lot of gardening at your house. And do you find that therapeutic in a way to be able to process through the day and stuff?
Do you think it's because you're outside or because you're doing something?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it's being outside. I think it's kind of digging in the dirt. But they did say you have to, like, your hand has to be in the dirt. You can't be wearing gloves.
Yeah, it's the same like being outside. Your shoes can't be on, or socks. Yeah.
And normally I wear gloves because I don't want
the dirt under your nails.
The dirt, or sometimes there's you get little slivers.
Yeah.
And I don't want that either.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being out there, it's really calming and peaceful.
Yeah. I think a lot of people find that with gardening.
I don't.
I don't.
My
I have
back
like
hurts.
PTSD from having to help my parents with yard work. I can't. I'm like, I want nothing to do with it.
I like mowing grass, but like digging, I don't know. I guess we'll find out next summer. Since I just did buy a house, right? And there's some landscaping that needs done. I think I'm cool with that. But like, I don't planting flowers and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Every Mother's Day, my mom was like, I was like, what do you want for Mother's Day? And she's like, I just want you guys to come over and help with yard work. But my parents are psychotic, and their yard work is not like just pull some weeds. We've got 5 truckloads of bark coming, and we need you to shovel it into a fucking wheelbarrow, wheel it over. And so I was like, so it's like manual freaking labor. And I was like, can I just get, like, is there a nice perfume you'd like? Like, some new pajamas? I don't like, what do you mean I gotta come over? And I'd spend the whole weekend doing yard work. And I remember the year my mom died, on Mother's Day, I told my dad, I was like, hey, I know you need some help with the yard. We'll come do that. because it's Mother's Day and she's dead. So we'll do that. And I remember we were out there and we're doing all this. My dad's like, do you think that the neighbors think that I've been the one like making you guys do all this now? And I was like, I sure hope so. And he's like, because it was your mom. And I was like, mm-hmm. And then after she's gone, we're still doing it. And I was like, I sure hope so. Now you won't ask us again. Oh.
I thought you were going to say, can I hire a stand-in and I will just hang out with you while they do my work?
We offered. I was like, can we get you like a house cleaner? Can we get you a gardener? No. And because my dad is just as particular about the bark and the rock and you guys, my parents had like a beautiful home. Like they lived on an acre and it was all like really pretty landscaped, very pretty. Like I got married, my first wedding was in their backyard. It's beautiful. And like they also had a garden and just like they had a pool. So then they did all the landscaping around the pool and it looked so great. Thanks to my help. Just kidding. I will not say that. Actually, I take no credit. But then like pulling the weeds and no, I will never, ever love that. And I kill everything. So that's why I have Lego flowers in my home. That's why I have Lego flowers. That's why I have I can't even keep a freaking cactus alive. So my sister gave me an aloe plant before she moved to New York. And I think it was like 2 months later. I was like, hey, I think this is dead. I think you gave it to me dead. She's like, I certainly did not give that to you dead. I was like, I think you did. It died 2 months ago. I've just been keeping a dead plant in my house. But
that's one thing I didn't get from my mom is a green thumb. I don't. Yeah. So my house has no plants inside.
Do you have plants inside then too? Your big plant.
Oh, I try. Oh. I like all the plants that are low maintenance. You don't water them until they get droopy, and then you give them some water, and they perk back up. Those are the kind of plants I like.
Yeah, because it tells you. Mm-hmm. I think I could do that.
My last 2 aloe plants I'd killed.
See? It's not just me, Chelsea. They're hard to keep alive. I always overwater them, I think is what I do. Mm-hmm. So then I did keep a little succulent alive that a friend of mine gave me for Valentine's Day one year, and I had it on my sink, and I would just put like the tiny little ice cube in it once a week. That's all. And it lived for months and months, and then all of a sudden it was dead. So I think I must have given it a little too much of an ice cube one day. I don't know.
I can't keep succulents alive either.
Interesting. But all the other plants you can?
They're doing okay.
They're struggling at times.
Sometimes, yeah. Well, because I live in a basement apartment, they don't get a ton of light. And so I've moved some of them into my room where they get the south-facing sun. Right. And then the other ones, they get the window in the backyard. Oh, okay. And they're doing okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But I did put plant food in their water the last couple of weeks, and they're doing way better.
Oh, really?
Oh, see?
So what type of plant food? Like organic stuff or like...
I don't know.
What's a common plant food?
Why the hell are you looking at me?
I don't know.
Like Miracle-Gro?
Oh, there we go. Miracle-Gro.
Yeah. Like that?
No.
Oh.
Miracle-Gro has killed some of my plants.
Oh.
But I do give them filtered water.
Oh, that's helpful.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know what they are. It's it's in a dropper, and I just put a couple drops in the water.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I've never done it before.
Like they're thriving. Okay.
Currently.
Plants need filtered water, I guess. So do lizards.
Mine do.
Because at first my son has a lizard.
Okay, thanks for telling us that. So do lizards. You know what? Snakes, fuck them. They need filtered water too.
Well, I thought he was just using regular tap water. He's like, no, I've been using filtered water. I was like, oh, so we got a bougie lizard.
Yeah, Stevie's a bougie dog too. He only gets only the best for my baby. Yeah, that's funny.
So yeah, that was one good book that I've listened to, and luckily I got it for free, or I would never. It just sounded really interesting because at first I read it. Oh, they're talking about veterans and stuff.
Yeah.
And then listening to it, I think there's 6 chapters, and each chapter is 25 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a long book.
It's not a long book,
but it's really good.
Okay, tell us the name of it one more time.
Okay, 3-Day Effect.
Okay.
Yep. How nature calms the brain.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
good listen. Or a good read.
Yeah.
And I think she has a few more books that she's written that delves into nature and its properties that help with depression and things like that.
Okay.
So, and then my other one, I have a few other ones. Jordan Peterson wrote a book called The 12 Rules of Life and Antidote for Chaos. And he covers 12 rules that you should utilize. And I don't remember a single one. because I read it such a long time ago. Oh. But a lot of people swear by it. And he goes into detail about how
I'm gonna pull it up.
Lobsters have this mating ritual and some other psychological synapses that almost mirror humans in a way. And he ties it in together with, I don't know. I should have probably researched a little bit more, since I'm talking about it.
That's okay.
But some of these rules are pretty common sense. It's like, you wake up.
I have them. Do you want me to read them?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So the first one, stand up straight with your shoulders back, which you guys.
All right.
I was actually
No comments. Yeah,
I have this thing that you put on. It's like a posture corrector, and I was gonna wear it.
I have those too.
Yeah.
But it digs into my armpits, and I hate them.
Oh, I have never once worn mine.
Well,
this
really?
is what I do. I buy things, and I never do anything with them. So I. Guessing just does that too. How many times are you gonna wear those Vans?
Well, I wore one of them the same day I bought them.
There you go then. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I have no room to talk. So stand up straight with your shoulders back. Number 2, treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's kind of what one of the books I was going to talk about was kind of similar. Number 3, make friends with people who want the best for you.
That's such a big deal. And
yes.
I know it's hard to see that as a young adult.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because especially, let's say you grow up in a household and you're kind of like in a household that isn't good.
Yeah.
Kind of like growing up, I had a tough time. My parents were, they don't listen to this, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They were addicted to cocaine and alcohol and stuff like that. They eventually got out of it. But it made for a really shitty childhood to a degree. There was a lot of good times, but there was a lot of really shitty times.
Right.
I mean, really freaking bad, crazy times. And maybe later on this month, I'll indulge and share some stories with that. But I could have gone 2 ways, right? I could have used that as an excuse to be a complete and utter piece of crap human in school, right? Or being a bully or utilize that. I mean, that's where my depression comes from, right? Part of it. Or I could have, what I did is utilize that as a lesson learned to not be like that.
Right.
And try to do the best I can. But where I'm going with this is those would have been really good advice if a teenager would have listened to it, of who you need people in your life that's going to build you up.
That are cheering for you.
Yeah. Because if you have pieces of crap friends that only tear your life down and you can't get out of that or can't recognize that.
Right.
I mean.
Yeah. And I think especially when you're even younger, like high school, you just want to be accepted.
Right.
And so you're just willing to take whatever you get, which is kind of what I did for some friends, not all of them. I still have great friends that I'm friends with today that I went to high school with, but there were some situations that were not the best for me. And I think I spoke last week how I graduated early, and it was to get away from that. And because I realized but even as an adult, I was thinking about this the other day, and there's so many people you can call, for me anyways, that I can call and bitch to, right? Like, oh my God, I had the worst day, blah, 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 blah. But it's not that there's not a lot, but I feel guilty on my, I just had the best day, and calling some people. So 2 of those people are my dad and sister. I tell them all my wins, and they're rooting for me, and they're following up, and they're asking about it. And those, to me, that's a good solid. I can also call them when I'm having a crap day, but then I can be like, oh my gosh, today I just got this at work, or this happened and I'm so excited. And my dad will know when I'm playing in a tournament. How did you do? Did you win? Oh, great. It's so awesome. And then send me a cute little, my dad's the best, you guys. He's so fun. And he'll send a cute little meme or something. I don't know. There's not I think it's so much easier to find friends and they talk about this too, right? You can find these friends because you guys both hate the same person. So, you know what I mean? If you hate the same things and you hate the same people, then for some reason you just have this bond together. But I think it's really important to know who you can call when you have wins. And I think that's, where right now I'm feeling lonely because I don't always have wins right now. So, and I come home to a home by myself, and Stevie, as much as I'm like, me and Stevie were talking the other day, he doesn't talk, guys. I don't know if you guys know that. My dog doesn't speak. So I can talk to him all day long, but he's not like tickling my back at the end of the night telling me it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And so just being able, like, even on those good days, to come home and be able to share that with somebody, or call somebody on your way home from work or whatever. I don't know. So making friends with people who want the best for you.
Yeah, you explained that way better than I did. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
it's different experiences. Yeah,
it is. But you know, like you said, you're trying to find someone that you can relate to.
Yeah,
and that might be good or bad.
Right.
But you're hoping that's going to be good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But someone early on should be saying, and maybe they do. I don't know. Did your parents ever have a friend that they didn't really like but you were really good friends with, and did they explain to you that maybe they're not raising you up?
I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
But I know my son has.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's hard to explain to him. It's like, they're using you.
Yeah.
Or they can't be happy for you. They're jealous of you.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a problem. Like, you can't call somebody and tell them your wins because you don't want to make them feel bad.
Yep.
Or it's like they try and one up you, or they just can't be happy for you.
Right. Yeah. Or, you know, a situation, I don't know. I have a situation at work, and I feel like I'll like make a suggestion, and it's tearing down all those ideas or those suggestions or something, right? Like you don't feel like you're winning, even when you're just trying to like brainstorm an idea or something, and that person just telling you all the ways that it could go wrong, instead of, oh, actually, like, yeah, maybe in your head you do think that that's going to implode, but it might not. And that's just your thing, because maybe you are jealous of how it's going to work out, or X, Y, Z. Yeah. So I think, I don't know. I think I agree with you in that regard, as far as like, people can like tell you all the things that are going to go wrong, and not like, oh, actually that's a great idea, or like kind of live with you through maybe. And I don't know. This is a fine line. So I'm struggling to like find the words, because I think as like a good friend, you obviously don't want to see your friends fail. So I sometimes do. I catch myself playing like the devil's advocate. So like my dad will call and tell me something, and I'm like, oh, but did you think of this? And so it's never, and I've told him, I'm like, it's never in a way to like beat down your idea or anything, because I think it's a great idea, but just make sure you've thought of everything, because I do want that person to win, right? So it's like, there's a fine line. I don't know. At least now I feel like maybe I'm defending my actions, because maybe I haven't always been that good.
No, I think
person,
I agree.
But I
think I tend to do that a lot. You know, play the devil's advocate, especially when it's like making decisions on something. I'm like, what did you think of this? Mm-hmm. And I don't do it to come off. All right, go ahead.
I love it.
It's just funny the way you said it. Well, did you think of this?
Yeah.
It's like,
and I say it just like that.
Yeah. Does like got PTSD right now. I'm guessing there's a story here.
No, I tend to do that, right? Because I'm a fixer. I like fixing things, and I like try to analyze things and try to cut, because I care about her and I care about her son. And when certain things are brought to my attention, you know, I'm asking all these different questions to ensure that they're taken care of, or they aren't getting duped and that kind of stuff.
So you have like rose-colored glasses on, because, oh, this is a great idea and it's going to be so great. And it's like, well, it does theoretically sound great. And then there's these other things that are not so great.
Yeah. And maybe I don't go about it the right way, and my tone, right? Because we've talked about how I come off sometimes. My tone, yeah.
So you're a man.
I'm a man. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's so much, because I do the same thing with my dad, I noticed too. And that's just somebody that I'm really close with. So I bring him up, right? And I talk to him multiple times a week, and we bounce ideas off, and he does the same thing. And there's times that I'm like, listen, buddy, I don't actually want to hear what you have to say. I'm looking for comfort right now, not solutions. And I think that's actually a very big thing to ask somebody when they are coming to you. You know, and it's like, okay, are you looking for comfort right now, or are you looking for solutions? Because that's two different things. And because I'm a fixer, I've recently have been trying to remember to ask that, because it's like, okay, you probably, I don't know that you want to hear my suggestions for what you're going through right now. So are you just wanting to vent? Because if you are, great, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for me to help you, guide you through this situation that you're in, which is immediately what I think you're coming to me for, because I can fix everything. Actually, no. People come to me with their relationship problems. I'm like, why the hell are you coming to me? I'm twice divorced, people. Nobody come to me for relationship advice, okay? And if I ever talk about it on this podcast, shut me down. Anyways, so back to the list.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Oh, this is a big one. Because you're wanting to always be better than you were. It's like your PR, right? Like your personal record and working out and stuff. It's like, that's why I liked CrossFit when I used to do that, is because you're trying to beat your own personal record. I'm not trying to beat you or you at CrossFit. I'm trying to beat how fast I ran yesterday. The other thing is, this is a big thing in my opinion, is not comparing. So it's really easy, social media now, right? We can see you think you're seeing everybody's life, right? No, you're seeing what we show you. Yeah. Because it's so easy to not post the suck. So this is what I would always remind people is, don't judge the inside of your relationship against the outside of somebody else's. And everybody does it. My ex-husband used to do that. It's like, oh, well, so-and-so has a great marriage. No, they don't. Or they might. I don't want to say that they don't, but you're comparing the inside of our marriage to the outside of theirs, and that's not healthy. So I don't know. But I think, just trying to be your personal best, I think, is how I take that. Is that how you would take that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Interesting. I have mixed feelings on that one.
Yeah.
I don't have kids though, so what are your guys' thoughts?
Oh, I wonder if they have any examples of that.
I'm sure
within the book they do.
Yeah.
But I just can't think of any. I can't remember any.
Read it for us one more time.
Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. So, I mean, if your children, let's say that, so it says do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. If drugs comes to mind, right? Like, it's like, oh, willy-nilly, if you want to do drugs. But then all of a sudden now you're mad at them for doing drugs. And, and it could be anything, right? It could be a gummy. It could be pot. Like, to me, like, those things aren't bad. But then if you have an annoyance for those things, then don't let them do it.
Yeah.
Or, this is one thing. Actually, this is a personal experience. And I hope she's listening, Mom. But my mom my mom was like, I think like 16, I got an offer for a credit card, and she was like, yeah, let's do this because it'll help build your credit. And I have very good credit. And so I will always give my mom credit for how good my credit is, but I've gotten myself into trouble a couple of times and I've dug myself out, and that's great. But my credit score is very good and high because my mom was like, this is how you build credit. You put money on credit cards and then you pay it off and you show that you have good payment, right? And it has worked for me. But I had it was like a $200 credit limit from Sears, and I got it at 16. And I still, anytime I take out a loan, have to answer about that because I had credit before I was 18. So it's a red flag that pops up anytime still to this day, and I'm almost 40.
Weird. I didn't know that.
And I actually had a line of credit as well and an auto loan that she co-signed on at like 16 or 17. I can't remember. Anyways, so, and I would put like $20 on the Sears thing, and then I would pay like $10 the first half, and then pay but then at one point I did have it at like $200, and my mom like lost it on me one day about how I wasn't managing my money, and I was like, bitch, you told me to get this credit card. This is on you. But obviously I wasn't doing it the way that she wanted me to do it, so then she was mad. And I don't think it made her dislike me, but that's the only story that I could kind of relate
associate
to.
with it.
Yeah. So anyways, okay. Does anything come to mind for you guys?
No. The only thing I could think of is like letting my kid borrow my car and him not taking care of it the way
you would want him to.
Yeah. Or bringing it back the way he got it in the first place.
Oh, yeah. Kids aren't going to do that.
And I'm like, doesn't even think about that.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. Yeah. car, or even like if they're like, oh, I'm going to cook my own dinner tonight. Like, oh, cool. That's awesome. And then they leave all the dishes and like a big mess and stuff like that. Like, did you not even think about cleaning that up?
No.
Like, how could you live like that?
Kids aren't thinking of that stuff, guys.
But in that situation, or again, and even in my car situations, like, it's not like I'm letting him do those things. It's just like,
he did them.
Yeah.
And now you're upset. Yeah. I guess you let him use your car, and then because he didn't do what you would have hoped that he would have done with the car, then you're disappointed. And it's probably more disappointment. I think that's what this word needs to be, not dislike them. Just be, to me, this should be changed to do not let your children do anything that makes you disappointed in them. Because I don't think people are just going to immediately dislike their children. But I honestly, this is without
there's
context
growth
and reading
that
the
can
book.
happen within disappointment, right?
Right.
So letting your kids do things that disappoint you helps them grow. Because then how would they know if they're doing the correct thing or not?
Right.
Without disappointment.
Right.
Right. So I think there's personal growth that can be had with a person that suffers disappointment from a person that they respect or look up to.
Yeah.
To a degree.
I guess I never,
obviously, to a degree.
Yeah.
There's variations of craziness that can happen, but I think it's just like anxiety, right? There's healthy anxiety, but once you pass that, then it's bad for you.
Right.
And there's healthy fear, and it's all
I will
within.
say I did something when I was 16 that my parents were very disappointed in me in, and I never did it again because I don't like to disappoint anybody. Yeah. And so I guess I could understand that. I stole a pair of jeans from the BX. Whoopsie daisy.
I stole a pair of, or not a pair, but it was a pack of baseball cards when I was young.
Oh, a pack of baseball cards?
Yeah, because I used to collect, and my mom was like, no, I can't afford to buy you this. And I was like, fine. Right in my pocket. Yeah. And then they're like,
oh, yeah. Well, that was when my mom was like, why the hell would you steal them? We would have just bought them for you. Yeah. I was like, because then I wouldn't have been cool stealing jeans. And I lost this was like a big to-do. My mom was like a senior master sergeant at the time. Yeah. Had to get called in. She had to watch the video. I got my access taken away for a year. I got arrested.
You stole at the BX?
Yeah. And they didn't even catch me for 3 days. Idiots. Just kidding.
But again, both of those examples are not things that your parents let you do.
Oh, correct.
So
True.
Yeah.
So that whole statement of letting your kids do things, it's like, what do you let your kid do?
I guess we'll have to read the book to understand.
Like stay up late. I let my kids stay up late, and then I'm mad at them, or I dislike them because they're ornery in the morning.
Or let them be slobs, and then after they leave and go do their own thing, you go to visit in their house
or something.
It's just like story.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine that I went to basic training and then tech school, and then we went to the same base together. The guy's a freaking slob, right? His dormitory was gross, or his dorm room was gross, like dirty socks, dirty dishes just laying all around. And it makes me wonder if his mom just let him live like that, or was it his mom or dad were really strict, and then it was the opposite. So he's like, well, screw this. I'm not going to be clean when he lived. But like, God, you would find like dishes underneath his bed with like moldy food. So maybe that would be.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah. Because if he was my kid and then I realized that me letting him go that long and then just made him a really crappy person.
Yeah. I had a friend live with me here years and years ago, and I remember like going to try to just find a bowl. And I had 5 bowls. I'm one person.
Yeah.
Like, where the hell are my bowls? So I go up into her room, which is in the room next to this one, and I'm like looking around. There are all 5 of them. And there is a spoon stuck to them, either from cereal or ice cream. That's all she ate. And they were just stuck to the bowls. 5 of them, guys. I'm like, that's where what's happening here?
Yeah.
You're an adult. Yeah. Anyways.
We don't have to go through all 12.
Well, we don't have to get into a story about them. Okay, so 6 is set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world.
And that makes sense, right? Yeah. How can you criticize someone else when you can't even make your bed?
That's true. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, number 7.
Moving on.
Yeah, number 7. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Sorry, my computer did a weird thing. And then... and that
makes sense too, right? We do the things that are hard because they're hard. because there's self-growth within it.
Yeah.
That's why we pick up heavy things.
That's what you should do.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. That's what this is reminding us to do. This is the rule, right? Because
Yep.
that's not what I do.
Yep.
I do all the easy things and I leave the big rocks for the end, right? And you should do the big rocks first.
Yep.
Delayed gratification.
Yep. Okay. And then number 8 is tell the truth or at least don't lie.
Yeah.
Why is that one that you took pause on? I'm like, yep, that should be number 1, actually.
Because a lot of people can't handle the truth. And so not telling the truth or giving a variance of the truth is still lying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Don't
you have to pick and choose your battles. And sometimes the battle is not being
telling
honest.
the truth. I gotcha.
And anyone that's married knows what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
especially the guys.
You just need to learn. If you don't want to know the answer, don't ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, too.
It's very true. Am I too emotional? Mm-hmm. Okay, number 9.
What do you mean?
Yeah. What do you mean I'm emotional? Number 9. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't.
Yeah.
So
and
everybody
I think I
listening
talked
to
about
us
this.
right now, just know that we know more than you. Just kidding. Number 10, be precise in your speech. You're not getting that on this podcast.
Yeah,
Sorry,
especially
guys.
for me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I can never even remember words. Number 11, do not bother children when they are skateboarding. Oh, would have to read the book to know what that's going to talk about. Number 12, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. So we'd also need to know what the book. So anyways, go ahead, read this book. It's called, again, 12 Rules for Life by
Yep.
Jordan Peterson.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm interested. Yeah.
And then I'll mention one more author, Warren Farrell. He is a psychologist and a self-proclaimed feminist for the last 30 or 40 years. And then he started moving more into men's and women's issues instead of just focusing on women's.
Okay.
And he wrote a few books that are really good. And it's to help perspective of both men and women's issues.
Interesting. What was his name again?
Warren Farrell. And a few books that he has written, and I'm just going to name 3 that I've personally listened to, is Why Men the Way They Are, Women Can't Hear What Men Don't Say, and
What?
Women Can't...
I'm just kidding. She's quit. Anyways, sorry.
And then The Boy Crisis, which talks about how young boys aren't being educated the way they need to compare in the public school system compared to the way females are.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's why you see, as of right now, women are graduating at a higher rate than men in college. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
I did not know that little statistic.
Yep. And it's really good because it helps you recognize different patterns that maybe you don't, the differences between males and females on how they go about certain things like depression or, suicide in males and females differ. Males do it at a higher rate because we follow through with it more so than women do.
Yeah.
So those are really good books that I found very educational and helpful. Now, they not necessarily that like the 12 Rules of Life or Warren Farrell might not be helpful when it comes to depression, but it might help in other aspects of life.
Right.
Yeah, of recognizing patterns and things like that. So
Yeah. Interesting. So I'll say for me, some nonfiction books. I feel like when I did I've done 75 hard twice, and part of that is reading nonfiction. And I stuck to self-help books and personal development books. And so I've read, and each time my goal was to read 10 books. And so I read at least 20 just doing that twice. And one book is super quick read. I know I've talked about it before. I will mention it a million other times. It's called How to Be Your Own Best Friend. And it is by Mildred Newman. And I think there's a co-author actually, but I can't see that. Anyways, it's honestly the shortest, quickest read. It's so good. And it's just in how that you wouldn't treat, I'm not going to come in here and say something mean to you that I'm going to say to myself. And that is such a good reminder for us to be nice to ourselves and not say those things, because it really, your brain starts believing the things that you say. And so then just say something nice to yourself. Like it's kind of like the positive affirmations. I really think that there's a lot to that because your brain really does start to believe everything you're saying and telling it. So I don't know. I 100%, 1000% recommend that book. Again, How to Be Your Own Best Friend. And then another book that I read that helped me and for at least a period of time, but I struggle with procrastination. And I did not mean to cough like that at that time, but it's very powerful. I struggle with, like I mentioned just a second ago, right? Is I do the small rocks first and we should be tackling the big rocks. And I think it was Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule. I think she wrote that 5-second rule. I think, yep, Mel Robbins. And it's pretty much just counting down. Like when you are struggling to like do something like, you know, let's say I need to do a load of laundry and I have to go upstairs to do that. It's like, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And instead of you always count down from 5 instead of counting up because you can continue counting up. And it's like, oh, if I count up, I can go to 10, I can go to 20, I can. But if you're like, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Get up and do the dishes. Like those things are, that's been helpful. So like the one, when I mentioned earlier, when we were talking about like just taking one piece of something from a book, I think she probably had a million other things that she talked about, but that was like the gist of it. Same with the How to Be Your Own Best Friend. The gist of it to me was you wouldn't say something to somebody else that you say to yourself. So why are you saying that to yourself? Like, you know, so. Does
that book go into also being okay being alone with yourself?
I cannot,
because that's what I kind of picked up on just on the title itself. At first, that's where I thought you were going, because I know that's something I struggle with. Even though, so when we first started dating, I was like, you know, I'm a loner. I need my own space and all that. And come to find out, I am not that.
Interesting.
I would just tell myself that, right? Because I went through a lot of horrible relationships and a marriage, and maybe that was just my way of like self-coping.
Maybe,
But no, I need people around. Like I need to be socially active and things like that. Because when I'm not, that's where like my depression or, you know, my thoughts wander.
Yep.
And sort of that.
That's the same for me. So would you think that you're an extrovert or introvert? So you get your energy from people, or do they?
I do.
Does that deplete you?
No, it's a little bit of both. Obviously there can be too much stimulation from people.
Yeah.
But I feel that I'm a little bit of both.
Yeah.
When I would normally just say that I'm an introvert instead of an extrovert.
Yeah. I think there's actually a new thing. What would you say you are, Des?
Introvert.
So you don't like, does like being around a bunch of people, like it kind of drains you and.
Yeah. It's just overwhelming.
Yeah.
But as a kid, a teenager, I would have said I was an extrovert.
Oh, okay. I think.
When did you notice that switch though?
In my 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because do you think you felt like did you have like certain feelings about like kind of not wanting to acknowledge that maybe you were more introverted versus extroverted? Like, did you, like, I imagine like somebody that's going from that might start to feel guilty that their friends are draining, like feeling that their friends are draining them and not really understanding that that's okay. It's not saying that you don't like your friends or anything. It's just that like, it's exhausting to have to kind of be on all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as a teenager, you just really want to be accepted and liked by everybody. So you kind of just have to fit the mold.
Right.
Whereas later in life, I'm like, yeah, I just don't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
See, the reason I think that was both, I know growing up, I was really an introvert, and it was the basis on, even when I was with friends, I still felt alone. And maybe it was because, you know, I was going through a lot of crazy stuff, and maybe I just didn't feel relatable to them, that they weren't going through the same thing. And obviously I didn't talk about it either as a teenager. And even to this day, I still feel alone in a crowd. Even like during family gatherings, like with your family, I still feel alone because I just don't feel connection. Now I can't say that I feel alone during pickleball, because there's the pickleball connection, right? And we're all kind of focused on the same thing. And so maybe during pickleball is my only point in time where I don't feel still separated. But I still gravitate towards, and maybe I think I only get this in pickleball, is where I get the extrovert ness of, that comes out.
Not at work?
No, not really. I mean, I do interact with all my coworkers, and I like hanging out with them and talking with them and stuff. But in a way, I still feel alone. And it doesn't even help that we're all in our individual cubes. Mm-hmm. And I hate that. Mm-hmm. I really hate that because my whole entire Air Force career hasn't really been cube-based, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
I don't know. It.
So I think it's situational.
Yeah.
Of my introvert and my extrovert.
Yeah, I would say I'm super extroverted, but I don't think that's going to surprise anybody that's listening or that knows me. But because I do feel like if I'm home and I'm already feeling like depressed or anxious and I'm home, alone, I'm going to feel that more. When I was married, I don't think I ever felt, I mean, I say I feel lonely now. I felt very lonely. Yeah. And that was hard. And I think that's what I love. I think that's why I became so addicted to pickleball so quickly is because it got me out of that situation, even for a couple of hours. I didn't feel alone and I didn't feel lonely. And I felt like, oh, I am, I suck at this game, but at least I'm like chit-chatting with people and I'm having fun and I'm doing something and I'm staying active. That helped a lot. And then, I think even more so, like during my divorce, my ex didn't move out of my house. So during our divorce, we lived together, which was pure fucking hell, for 6 months. And I did not want to be here. So I had to leave. But I still, even then, being like we were in separate rooms, obviously, and I didn't even feel as lonely as I felt when we were in the same room in the same bed for years and years and years. So pickleball, I think it's funny because I never really, I know I talked about this before, but I don't know if I went into this much detail, but my ex had always like wanted me to find something. You need to find something because I can't entertain you all the time. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not asking you to entertain me, but okay. I think maybe he had a little bit of guilt because he was doing strongman and powerlifting. And so he was always at the gym. And I think he had maybe a little guilt because he was doing that. And he was like, well, if she found something, then it wouldn't be so bad that I'm at the gym for 4 or 5 hours a day. So he encouraged me to find something. And then when I did, it was a big fucking mistake. But I found pickleball and loved it. And then, but so he actually, I'm sure, blames he made comments like pickleball is the reason we got divorced. And I'm like, no, you are. But nice try, buddy. Nice try. It's your personality. But yeah, it was just, it's crazy. So pickleball for me was like a way for me to feel like I had something of my own. It got me doing something, being active. I didn't feel lonely like I did when I would come home. And there were jokes that were made that, I get like, I don't know. I do this because I get that there's jokes. And then there's also like a little bit of truth to jokes, right? So like I'd come home from pickleball and then I would, I'd be like in a good mood. And there would be comments anywhere from, leave me alone, go back to pickleball. Obviously you're happy you're there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I'm like, well, my endorphins are high because I just worked out, like just the same as you. Or it was, oh, you're cheating. And I mean, I got that a ton. I was like, okay. Mostly at that time, I was only playing women's pickleball. So if I was cheating, then I don't know. who would it have been with her? But
lesbian.
Yeah, there's lots of options actually. But yeah, I don't know. So it was hard because then I found this thing that I love and that I don't feel lonely in, but then I felt guilty because I'm now taking time away from my marriage and he's now accusing me of cheating and I'm not, and I know that I'm not, so I want to continue doing it, but then I don't want to have him have any other I don't want to have him have a reason to like not trust me and then be resentful. So it's almost like the parenting thing, right? Yeah. It's like, he let me do something and then he hated me for it. So
what was that rule number 3 about people making friends with people who want the best for you?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, exactly. Da, 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 da. Okay. So it's interesting. I know that was I wasn't expecting to talk about that, so I really wasn't prepared to talk it. So sorry, that was awkward.
No, that's good. Yeah. Right, because we're just being honest and truthful, and I think that's why people gravitate towards our podcast is because we're real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
relatable.
Yeah, relatable.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Well, what's our time? Because my ears are starting to hurt. And
we're at 1:24.
Yeah. No, I'm like,
1:24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why, your ears hurting?
Oh, my left ear's really hurting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we should wrap it up. But this month, definitely mental health.
Sorry, before we do that, we had a couple people write in, and I want to share their story because, I mean, as you're listening, if you are listening to it on October 10th, today again is World Mental Health Day along with World Pickleball Day. I'd be happy to share your stories. What's happening over there? Is Stevie losing it? Yeah. Is he puking?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. So I'll wrap this up so I can clean that up. Just everyday mom life. Sorry. I know there's people out there that freaking hate like when people refer to themselves as dog mom, and I hope they're listening. Anyways, so it's also World Pickleball Day. I hope that if you guys post today on World Pickleball Day that you post and maybe tag us if you want to talk about how the community has been something for you and has helped you, because I know it has helped each of us in different situations. And we didn't really get to talk about that a ton, but maybe we can share and do some lives or something. But if you do post, tag us. I'm going to read. We had Shauna Summerhays. She's a local pickleball player that we've played with. I think you've played with her.
Shauna,
yeah, she's great. So I'm just going to read. She sent me a text and she was comfortable with me sharing her name, but I'm just going to read what she sent me. So it says, so many people are familiar with the community that comes with pickleball. I am always amazed at the amount of new friends I have gained through this sport, and they are good people that have made a big difference in my life recently. We had an unbelievable tragedy hit our family on Memorial Day of 2025. Rewind to a week before that, Zach, my 26-year-old active, adventurous son-in-law who loved life, went to see a doctor because of some symptoms he was having, and he got the diagnosis of Burkitt's lymphoma, a rare, extremely aggressive, fast-growing cancer. Exactly 1 week after the diagnosis, he passed. This was unimaginable and completely heart-shattering for my sweet daughter, who is his wife. I knew my daughter would need me to be her main support for the unforeseeable future. She moved back home with me, and watching her suffer and grieve, along with managing my own grief, has been too much to bear sometimes. I often didn't feel like playing pickleball. It seemed frivolous and sometimes even pointless during this difficult time, but I also knew that the physical movement as well as the social connection that comes with this sport would be so good for me, so I went to play. Two things occurred during this time right after Zach's death. One is the pickleball community rallied around me. Some of the people I played with raised money and gave it to my daughter, along with a sweet card. Many people reached out and texted or gave me notes and small gifts. Often I would receive a text and I would just start to cry because these were newer friends and they were reaching out with such compassion and kindness. It kind of blew my mind. The other thing is that when you play pickleball, you focus on pickleball. We all know what happens if you play pickleball and are not focused on the game. So during those 2 hours of play, I would be intensely focused on the game, and for just a moment, I would forget the pain and worry in my personal life. Pickleball is a great escape, a healthy escape. I have been so grateful for this game since I learned to play, but especially over the last 4 months. So
that's powerful.
Yeah. So thank you, Shauna, for sharing with us. I think there's probably several people that can share those feelings. I had another friend text me, and she didn't it was before we had like kind of put out there, and I'm not going to share her name because I didn't ask for her permission, but in essence, she just wanted to thank us for doing this and kind of bringing awareness, because she has never struggled with mental health illness before. And so it was not that she didn't believe it didn't exist, but that she didn't understand it. And she has, their family has also experienced a tragedy, and her husband has now had feelings of depression and things, and he wasn't talking about it. And now he finally opened up to her, and in listening to our podcast and listening to you talk about your struggles. And I know I've kind of put some things in there. I'm not 100% comfortable yet. I know I'll get there. But I think that has helped her understand. And so she wanted to thank us for that. So I thank you, because you've been a lot more open than I probably have been. I always like start to talk about it and then I hesitate to get too deep because I want to fix it and not feel my feelings. So, but thank you, Shauna, for writing.
Thank you.
Yeah. If anybody is listening and wants to share their story, I know we put it out there last week. We'd happy to have people on. We can do little clips. You can write to us. We'll read for you.
Yeah. We'll keep it anonymous too. Yeah.
If you want it to be anonymous, we're happy to do that. I know the community, and so I will just say this, the community rallied around when my ex-husband came back from his deployment while we were still married. Heather Mickey actually put together she just got everybody and they put together this beautiful gift basket. Initially, I think she wanted it to initially just be from her family. And then she had told people and people just wanted to contribute and thank him for his service. I have a hard time with that. But it was this amazing gift basket with lots of gift cards. It was so nice of them to do that. And a lot of these people I didn't even know at the time, and he didn't know any of them. So he was super grateful, I remember. And he came, like one of 2 tournaments he ever came to was one right after that because he wanted to thank everybody in person. And so he was like, can you point out everybody on this card and who you know and let me thank them. And I thought that was really nice of him to want to do that because that was just so kind of everybody to do that. And then when I went through my divorce, just being able to like lean on so many people. And then when I know I've talked about when I lost my job, people were just so quick. Again, Heather Mickey showing up and was like, my husband works at, the company that he works at, and he would be happy to try to help you. Like, I mean, she just is just such a light in her community too sometimes. So thank you, Heather. But and thanks, Shauna, for sharing. And if anybody wants to share their story with us, we'd be happy to share it.
Yeah, reach out to us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Wrap it up. Happy World Pickleball Day. Hopefully everybody's playing pickleball. Hopefully I will be playing pickleball and not the rain.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't rain and you're able to whoop some butt.
Yeah.
All
right.
So good luck to you and Bonnie.
Des, appreciate you coming.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
sure
you.
Everybody's happy to meet you and get to hear from you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, and you know what? I think we owe you a thank you for the naming our podcast.
Oh yeah.
So
You're
yes,
welcome.
this is the voice and face of who named Skinny Singles Pickleball Podcast. So thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It worked out really good.
Yeah, it's been great. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Talk to you later.
Till next time.
Bye.